Yo, what's good guys? It's DeeKnow here, and we're back today with another video with some crazy clips from around the world. I hope everyone's doing well. I hope you've been good. I know, slow down. I got too many videos too quick. Nah, dude, I'm back. That's what it's about. So, let's go ahead and hop right into it.
Being lazy backfires.
Come on, man.
Oh, back up, back up.
Why didn't
back
she
up.
stop the car and close the door?
Damn it. Got in a fucking connection.
That's your fault, though. All right.
Now, I'm not saying 2024 won't be full of unicorns and roses, but President Xi Jinping of China used his New Year's address to say that surely all of China will be reunited, referring to Taiwan. And that, both should be bound by a common purpose. We're all Chinese, Taiwan doesn't need to be a thing. Kind of worrying if you're Taiwanese, possibly a new conflict on top of Ukraine, on top of Israel, on top of the possible South American debacle, on top of killings of Christians in Africa and other wars going on around the world. And as I mentioned earlier on, the US is possibly going to be doing strikes on Yemen with the UK and another country. Well, a development in that situation. So the US has announced through a couple of sources that they will be pulling back the Gerald Ford carrier strike group. Now, generally when there's going to be some sort of incursion, carrier strike groups are pulled back because they are vulnerable. So this is kind of an indication to that sense. So 2024, it's going to be fun.
There's a lot more videos in this little list I've got here that should cover a little bit more on that.
So you mean to tell me, it had got to the point even the sheriffs got to come out and tell the citizens to arm themselves. This is one of the Florida sheriffs that came out and told his citizens to arm yourselves, get equipped, get familiar with artillery, get them straps, and I tell you what, you ain't said nothing but a word, baby, but you ain't had to tell me, and I don't give a fuck what state you from. You better have your motherfucking strap, and you better motherfucking be ready, cause I tell you what, you won't run down on me on no shit that this goddamn administration ain't got us involved in. You could be a pretty bitch, and a dead bitch, or you could be a pretty strapped up bitch. Either way it go, y'all better keep yourselves safe out here. And I tell you what, y'all better know what's going on, because if the sheriffs came and told you this shit, you know this shit true. You know some shit going on. This shit is not a joke. And that ain't the first sheriff that said nothing. That's about the second sheriff that came out and said something. And they didn't had it all on the news. But see, if the state that you live in, have they said anything? Fuck now. And guess what? Fuck them. Keep your motherfucking strap. Keep your motherfucking strap and have your shit ready. That's all I can tell you. And you can take it as some fear mongering all the fuck you want. That's gonna be your ass caught with the motherfucking bag in your hand instead of that strap on your goddamn fucking shoulder. That's gonna be on you, baby. As for me and mine, we gonna have our shit together. Cause I don't have time for this bullshit. I never asked to be involved in this shit. So damn motherfucking real, I'm gonna take care of myself. You ain't have to tell me shit. I got this over here. Me and mine, we got our motherfucking army together, no matter what.
Yeah, I ain't got no time for this bullshit neither. I feel you.
To anyone who still thinks nothing is happening,
let me talk to you.
Why is there a C-17 plane next to Trump Force One? Aren't those planes used exclusively to transport presidential motorcades?
Mm-hmm.
Why is Steven Mnuchin, former Secretary of Treasury under Trump, and get this, film producer, appearing on $100 bills? Any guesses as to who could have taken over the Federal Reserve? Why Why is
I've
CBS
been
News
saying.
covering a Trump rally of all things? And get this, in sub-freezing temperatures at that.
Most church services in Iowa today have been canceled because of this cold, but not this Trump rally. People are excited. They're here to see him.
Why has Fox News seemingly thrown in the towel and surrendered to Trump after years of being anti-Trump?
They've been very anti-Trump for a long, long time. And last night, Fox made a decision, it was clear to me, to get back in his good graces.
Why is Trump all of a sudden wearing a white hat just about everywhere he goes these days? Do you get it yet? In case you don't, I'm gonna have Yuval Harari break down exactly what Trump coming back into office means to the global order.
It is likely to be the kind of death blow to what remains of the global order.
So have no fear. The Patriots are in full control.
Have no fear. The Patriots are in full control.
What a room would have looked like for a patient at Penhurst Asylum.
I've seen worse.
Visual effects for the series included miniature
Faking
photography,
space.
pyrotechnics, and stuntmen on wires. Up to 2 months were spent building meticulously crafted models, filmed on a motion control stage built for the series.
Lighting's important whenever you light models because you have to make them look real. Soon I'll be putting in very tiny mirrors that'll be reflecting and lighting small pieces of detail on the model so you can actually see them on film. If you don't pay attention to those kind of details, it really starts looking like, you know, a 1950s flying saucer.
Yup. Well, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool, but I mean, they should fix the pothole in real life, not just on BeamNG.
For 29 years, this is probably the worst crime scene I've ever been associated with.
Devastating screams from loved ones and fellow correction officers, all heartbroken and in deep shock. 7 people killed, all of them shot to death, believed to be related.
You hear about it, you just don't expect that it happened to you.
Officers arrived on scene here in the 2200 block of Acres and found 5 people dead inside one home, 2 others dead inside a second home around 12 noon. The suspect, 23-year-old Romeo Nance. Police started looking into Nance's whereabouts over the weekend after authorities say his vehicle was spotted at 2 crime scenes. First, after a 28-year-old man was found fatally shot in the head outside Pheasant Run Apartments. Secondly, a 42-year-old man shot in the leg in the 200 block of Davis Street.
We will do everything in our power here at the Joliet Police Department to bring the person responsible for this to justice.
Police say Nance is armed and considered dangerous. He was last seen driving this red Toyota Camry, license plate Q730412.
That's wild, man.
Devastating news today as Bikini Bottom News has been banned from TikTok. And while he is having to go through the appeal process, this is his new Your Fish reporter. Please go and follow him. If you've seen any Bikini Bottom News, that was him. Now he's been banned off of TikTok. Please go and follow him.
I mean, a lot of those memes were pretty misleading.
You gonna speak or not? Shall I do it?
Alright. That door was like, it was shut, but not on the latch, and it's just opened. So, yeah. Like,
Now you.
But I got a load of grief in the comments because I sent you to go and deal with this cupboard door, and now that door's triggered. So, and I'm not down for that.
Oh yeah.
What in the fuck?
Yeah, not gonna lie, I've had stuff like that happen. Not
That's
here,
just scared
but
the shit out of me.
no, it's happened before.
People are going to say that there's something attached to that.
Look under the foot table as well, showing there's no fucker in it. I'm not down for that.
That's a dishwasher under the,
Yeah.
well, you know, unit, washing machine. Where could somebody be hiding? Oh.
That was me.
Oh god, you can't even see up
She's
there.
all freaked out now.
Someone.
Paranormal activity.
And new this hour, the youngest son and the third child of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. has died. Dexter Scott King passed away today after battling prostate cancer. The son of the civil rights icon was the chairman and longtime leader of the King Center in Atlanta, Georgia. He was 62 years old.
Well, rest in peace.
Might want to stop and listen to this.
And continue on talking about the CERN collider and its real agenda. Okay, so we're on the verge of a paradigm shift. They've cracked open a portal or doorway or whatever you want to call it from another dimension. By their own admission, they are already in communication with something that has a personality and has ability to communicate. And the information that they're receiving must be very high level information, because they're feeding it to laboratories and technologies all across the planet. And what you said, which is so sobering, that video on the internet that captured it was an open satanic worship ceremony, I guess in the Goddard Tunnel.
Yes.
And I saw it, and I was
I saw
my
that
mouth
whole
hung open
ceremony
because it was
from
so
beginning to
in
end
your face,
when it was-
Luciferian and satanic.
I would say we've probably
first
not
put
seen
online.
something that bold in
It's
the
kinda
mainstream
hard to find
media.
the whole
No,
thing
we
now.
haven't.
In our lifetime.
No. And, there's been an escalation, and it keeps getting faster and more bold and more prominent. The Illuminati symbols at the Super Bowls and these giant musical performances in stadiums by music superstars and the Olympics. There are in-your-face occult messages and satanic messages and symbols, which tells you there's a very powerful Luciferian elite in this world, very active, and they're not hiding anymore.
No.
They've come out.
Because they've progressed in their timeline to the point where they feel invulnerable and no longer have to hold back. In fact, they want to be more bold about it so that they can gather themselves more converts.
Get more things
to
done.
their way.
I understand.
That would make
Pull
sense.
away from us.
Yeah, that would make sense, because here in the U.S. we have this rise in the satanic churches.
Exactly.
The Goddard Tunnel.
So what are you trying to say?
Goddard Tunnel, however you pronounce it. That ceremony was absolutely just really creepy, man. I don't know what else to say.
News just into our newsroom at this hour. The man wanted for allegedly killing 8 people and injuring a 9th in the Joliet area has been found dead tonight. Joliet police say that Romeo Nance was found by U.S. Marshals near Natalia, Texas. That's near San Antonio. He's believed to have taken his own life, this after a confrontation with police. We'll have lots more on this breaking news as we learn it.
Something don't sound right there. But really good that they got him.
About America's national security and the warnings from the FBI to local, state, and federal law enforcement about the possibility of terror attacks right here in the homeland. CBS News got a look at a new joint bulletin that warns groups like Al-Qaeda and ISIS will likely use the Israel-Hamas war to increase calls for violence in the U.S. this holiday season. This bulletin right here says that the most likely primary targets could include churches, synagogues, and members of the Jewish community. Now, today, the FBI director was telling senators that the U.S. is facing the highest risk of attack in years, that there are blinking lights everywhere, and warning terrorists will exploit the southern border. The head of the FBI says the Bureau is working to identify and disrupt these potential attacks, with foreign terrorist groups openly calling for strikes against Americans. He also said that the number of threats are at a whole other level since the October 7th attack on Israel.
It's crazy, man. There's just so much going on over there. If you guys don't know, you need to go look.
water.
They're real. They've been here for 30 years, maybe more and more. You guys just gotta pay a little more attention, I promise. You can go look up all the patents. You can look up everything. It's there for everyone to see. They just don't talk about it. So that they, you know, can keep it hidden from you. Because why would you want to go ask questions or look if you don't even know it exists?
For example, while some believe the Earth to be a disk that is walled in on all sides by massive ice sheets in Antarctica, which are guarded by none other than NASA, others think that really there's no edge to flat Earth at all, and that the plane of Earth extends on and on. As strange a theory as flat Earth in general is in our modern times, though, it has yet managed to give rise to an even stranger one. In 2016, a video appeared on a now-deleted YouTube account arguing for the certainly unusual no forests on flat Earth theory, and it gained some initial popularity. Since then, the ideas within it have become key to some flat Earth beliefs. The astonishing theory argues that trees, normal, everyday trees, are actually only bushes and shrubbery, and shadows of their once much larger and greater former selves. Real trees of long ago, as per the theory, were massive structures that towered into the sky miles and miles high. And the forests we have now aren't real forests, as the real forests no longer exist.
What do y'all think? Y'all think that we're just like tiny little itty bitty miniatures compared to what we used to be? And that trees and people and everything used to be giants, and the trees went way up in the sky, like 100 and 200 whatever times more than what they do now. Like, that would be pretty cool, but like, still, it would suck being the little ant, man.
This is the moment an airport security worker was caught allegedly swallowing $300 worth of cash. The money came from a passenger who had the money in a shoulder bag that had been given to a security worker to put through the X-ray scanner.
I like money.
When the passenger got his bag back, he noticed that the money had gone from his wallet. Authorities at Manila Airport have said they are investigating the situation.
Okay, she clearly ate that money. That's allegedly or not, she clearly ate that money. Like, what?
What is the ultimate agenda then of the Alpha Draconians in relation to Earth and to this part of the galaxy?
They do not want our galaxy to move into fourth and fifth density consciousness, because they lose complete power.
But it will anyway, won't it?
Not necessarily. There are no guarantees.
He also mentioned that one way to increase our vibration is through the power of love. We see it in so many movies saying through the power of love, we can do anything, yet we always just gloss over it. They put it right in our faces and we ignore it. TikTok, this is for entertainment purposes only.
There's no guarantee that Earth is going to go into fourth or fifth density. There's no guarantees that the entire galaxy is going to get there. Because if that were the case, they would probably just leave us alone and not give a damn what was happening here. You see, the Draconians are third density. They're physical just like us. They can only move into fourth density by mechanical means. If we move into fourth and fifth density, they've lost their playground. They've lost control of what they want to control. So they're fighting like hell trying to hold everything back. Because if they can hold everything back, then again, it's a form of power, of control.
Draconians and the reptilians, huh? Says they can't get here on our physical plane. They have to use things like technology, artificial intelligence, and robotics. What do y'all think? It's kind of crazy to think about.
Here's a list of celebrities that are secretly awful, and you didn't know that, but they have done some terrible shit. Let's start with one that a lot of people might know, but a lot of people might not know, is Matthew Broderick. Famous actor known for Ferris Bueller's Day Off and the voice of Simba, which I didn't realize until I was way too old. But he's a bad person because he didn't pay parking tickets for a long time, and then he went to court and he tried to act like he was a celebrity, and I'm just kidding, he killed people. He killed a couple people. Simba killed people. 1987, while vacation on Ireland, he got on the wrong side of the road and collided head-on with another car, instantly killing a mother and a daughter. Holy shit. And he faced 5 years of jail time, but he didn't get any jail time because he's a celebrity, which is fucked up. But still, that is crazy. And then we have John Hamm, who I actually really like John Hamm, and I'm super bummed out to hear this. Kind of a sociopath, actually. News broke in 2015 that back in the 90s, he was the leader of a hazing group in a fraternity where he set someone on fire.
Look at him.
Which is not hazing. That's just arson. That's just a crime. Now I'm just going to do a speed round because I don't have a lot of time to talk about all the fucked up things celebrities do. We have Peter Townshend, lead singer of The Who. Can't say what he did because I'll get demonetized, but just look up his name in the word credit card and you'll find out he's a piece of shit. We have Karl Malone, famous basketball player. Once again, can't say what he did, but look up Karl Malone 13. It's exactly as bad as you think it is. Steve Jobs. Everyone knows Steve Jobs is like a piece of shit. Card hazing. That's just arson. That's just a crime. Now I'm just gonna do a speed round because I don't have a lot of time to talk about all the fucked up things celebrities do. We have Peter Townshend, lead singer of The Who. Can't say what he did because I'll get demonetized, but just look up his name in the word credit card and you'll find out he's a piece of shit. We have Karl Malone, famous basketball player. Once again, can't say what he did, but look up Karl Malone 13. It's exactly as bad as you think it is. Steve Jobs. Everyone knows Steve Jobs is like a piece of shit to his employees, but I didn't know about his kid. Steve Jobs had a child with a woman before he started his family, and he denied that that was his child, even though a paternity test came back and said it was 97% sure it was his kid. And then he said something like, oh, there's like a 30% chance that's my kid because she's banked 30% of the population, and everyone's like, what the fuck? And then he tried to get out of it by saying he was infertile, and then he went on to have 3 kids with his next wife.
Wild. Moving on. Let's see what we got here, guys.
Oh, wow. Standing right there. What do you mean? Holy crap. What do you want? Why are you walking away? Where the fuck is it going? This is me.
It's true. It's 100% true. You should go look at all the stuff that NASA has shown us, and then look at all the ways it can be replicated, and then go look at all the stuff again and see if you can spot the mistakes.
Died after they injected chicken noodle soup into her veins.
What?
The woman pictured behind me is Ilda Maciel of Brazil. Apparently one of the nurses injected chicken noodle soup into her veins instead of a feeding tube. I really don't know how you can mess it up that bad. but somehow somebody didn't. This woman was 88 years old. It's noted that she started to squirm and stick her tongue out after the chicken noodle soup was injected into her. Her daughter reported she had never seen her mother in such excruciating pain, and Maciel died just 12 hours after the chicken noodle soup was injected into her body. This happened in 2012, and the family ended up suing them. The hospital CEO admitted this was wrong, but takes no fault in the patient's death. Now that is just crazy. She got a pulmonary embolism shortly after it was injected into her, and they believe that's the cause of death. This happened back in 2012. I can't find any information regarding the lawsuit. So if you guys have any information on if the family won or if they lost, please let me know in the comment section. Very unfortunate and sad story for this elderly woman. What do you guys think about this story, and what would you do in this situation?
In October 2015, an astronaut aboard the International Space Station ISS captured footage of an unusual UFO that has left many experts scratching their heads. The UFO, which was estimated to be around 300 meters in length and had a cylindrical shape reminiscent of a cigar, was seen drifting slowly through space. What was particularly striking about the object was the series of lines that ran along its structure, which shimmered in a brilliant shade of green. According to the astronaut who captured the footage, the UFO appeared suddenly, seemingly out of nowhere. Despite attempts to communicate with the object via radio, there was no response, and it continued on its trajectory unabated. But the most bizarre part of the encounter was yet to come. Towards the end of the video, the UFO appeared to expand, causing a ripple effect in the fabric of space-time. In a matter of seconds, it disappeared completely, leaving no trace behind. Since the video's release, scientists and ufologists alike have been poring over the footage, trying to decipher the object's origins and purpose. Some have speculated that it could be a new type of experimental spacecraft, while others believe it could be of extraterrestrial origin. What's your opinion? Follow for more.
Broken windows, shattered glass on the ground, criminals breaking into as many as 50 vehicles parked on the streets in this Westchester neighborhood. The break-ins happened late at night and early Saturday morning. Isabella Lupino was stunned when she saw her car.
My window was smashed in, and car was rummaged through. $30 was taken. Unfortunately.
Several of the vehicles were parked between 83rd and 85th Street, northeast of Lincoln Boulevard. A surveillance camera capturing two suspects wearing dark clothing and carrying flashlights. One stands near the passenger door of a car, apparently acting as a lookout. The other goes to the driver's side. Moments later, he can be seen inside using his flashlight to search the vehicle.
I mean, it's sad because I feel like this is a nicer area, and I feel like, kind of not feeling safe, living here.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect anything less.
A mini black hole. Oh no! I gotta take it away before more clueless kids fall into it. Geronimo!
That's kind of cool. She's just dragging the black hole.
Brings raccoons.
There's a what? I didn't want his homework. That's hilarious. This is wild. Lisa just like dragged a black hole home. What?
Did you know that the CIA created Osama bin Laden action figures for the purposes of psychological warfare? They look like this at first, but the face was designed to melt off and reveal a demonic Osama bin Laden.
Why?
The goal was to scare Afghani and Pakistani children and turn public opinion against Osama bin Laden. This is from the CIA website, where they say they stopped the program after only making 3 prototypes. One of them sold for almost $12,000 at an auction.
Why? Why? I don't understand people, I guess. I don't know. Oh, that's a kid. Oh, hell no. I'm leaving. Bye.
Is that a new thing?
That would be a new thing.
Yeah.
Have you heard of that? Is that real?
There's definitely
Heard of what?
I was going to look into it, but I was in the car. I was like, what?
That's the new generative AI capability.
They added something that definitely describes images that's on your phone for
Yeah.
sure. Read within the last year. I haven't tested Siri describing it, but
So
I'm sure it would.
imagine if Siri described my friend Stavos' calendar. Stavos, who's a hilarious comedian who has a new Netflix special called Fat Rascal. But imagine describing that. It's a very large, overweight man on like
here's a turn on image
a
description.
flowery swing. Like what?
Yeah.
What?
Something called image descriptions is in
Wow.
Yeah.
So someone can send you an image, and
You can describe it.
how will it describe it? Let's click on it. Let's hear what it
Fact,
says.
a copy of The Martian by Andy Weir on a table sitting in front of a TV screen. Let me show you how this looks in real time, though.
Photo. Voiceover. Back button. Photo. December 29, 2020. Actions available. A bridge over a body of water in front of a city under a cloudy sky.
So you can see it.
Wow.
But you realize
That's
this
wild.
is the exact same tech as all of the like Mid-Journey, Dolly, because those you type in text and it generates an image. This you just give it an image and it
Yes,
gives
it
you the other
describes
way.
it. So
Yeah.
how could ChatGPT not use that to pass the CAPTCHA?
Well, actually, the newer versions can pass the CAPTCHA.
I did not know that. All right. That's good to know.
The theoretical basis for stargates draws heavily from the concept of wormholes in theoretical physics. According to Einstein's theory of general relativity, wormholes might exist as solutions to the equations, but they would require exotic matter with negative energy density to stabilize and traverse them. In the context of stargates, the construction process would involve creating and stabilizing a wormhole between two designated points. However, the requirement for exotic matter and negative energy density presents significant challenges, as such matter has not been observed and defies our current understanding of physics. Even if exotic matter were to be discovered or synthesized, the energy requirements for creating and maintaining a stable wormhole would be astronomical. The energy necessary to bend space-time in such a way as to create a traversable wormhole would likely exceed any currently conceivable power source. The potential use of advanced technologies, such as highly advanced forms of matter and energy manipulation, remains pure speculation. The construction of a stargate as depicted in science fiction presents several daunting challenges. These challenges are not only based on the theoretical foundations, but also on the practical limitations of materials, energy sources, and our current understanding of the universe.
You guys think that we have stargates or the ability to build stargates yet? Not really sure we have that kind of technology or understanding.
I think we are being told in our everyday language what the function was of specific infrastructure on the Earth, which was arranged as a circuit board for the once free energy generating electromagnetic grid system of the ancient advanced civilization all over the surface of the Earth, and which I believe existed up until recent times. We are still using much of the enduring and sophisticated infrastructure of this advanced civilization in the present day. A circuit board is a physical piece of technology that allows for the assembly of electrical circuits or data circuits on a horizontal layer of material.
Okay. So you're trying to say that Earth is a giant circuit board?
So I decided to watch the Book of Eli for the first time. And then I seen this picture that said 2024.
Mm-hmm.
What could it mean?
What could it mean?
The head you see above me is a preserved actual head of Diogo Alves.
That's
This is the head
very
of Portugal's
weird.
first
That's
serial
very
killer.
weird
He
that
murdered
they-
70 people in the
I don't
19th
like
century. His head has been preserved for about 182 years now. And this head is still on display at University of Lisbon. His method of killing was pushing his victims off of an aqueduct. After he was captured and prosecuted, they decided they're going to slice his head off and preserve him. The reason for this, they wanted to study the mind of a serial killer. I'm just amazed at how well preserved this head is after almost 200 years. Because his head is still intact in this jar, they never really studied his brain or why he did the things he did. This head in the jar thing also became a widely known internet prank a couple of years ago. People would put pictures of themselves kind of like twirled up in a jar, and it would look like a head in a jar in a fridge. This story of Diogo Alves inspired all of that. I think the creepiest thing about this, though, is his eyes are still open as if he's looking right at us. Let me know what you guys think about Evil Ed Sheeran in the comment section below.
Evil Ed Sheeran, he said. Yo, that's creepy looking, man. Nah.
Rob, the incident happened on November 20th, 2023. The family says their 14-year-old son was coming home after getting snacks from a grocery store when he was tased by police in his own backyard and was later hospitalized. The family's attorney says this was a case of mistaken identity and says police must be held accountable. Now, we want to warn you, the video you're about to see might be disturbing.
Get your hands up! Hands up! Hands up!
On the morning of November 20th of last year, 14-year-old Avarius Thompson, who has autism, was tased by a Dalton police officer.
Come on, man. I think I remember hearing about that, and they didn't even have the right guy.
This is everything that happened on the news today, but it's going to be simplified in 60 seconds. Devil comet bigger than Mount Everest is heading towards Earth. This whole entire article is crazy. There's a whole video on my page if you want to go look. Scientists just discovered that bottled water contains 240,000 pieces of tiny plastic that could be toxic. Scientists have just done a whole entire study about this. They bought some water bottles from Walmart, 3 different brands, and they found out after testing those 3 different brands that there is a ton of microplastics in these bottles, and they have to do more research before they give us any more updates. You guys have heard the news about those Alaska Airlines where the windows and the doors are being blown out mid-flight. They did admit to finding. Basically, they don't want to exploit the moon for any further missions. We basically don't want to destroy a planet we're not living on. I do these daily roundups every single day, so make sure you add me so you can come back to me tomorrow.
Now that one was weird about the moon. That's really weird. Wonder why they would be doing that.
Here's 5 celebrities you didn't know killed somebody and what exactly went down. The last 2 are particularly weird and creepy. Tennis superstar Venus Williams got into a car accident in June 2017, which left 1 man dead. Williams was driving in Palm Beach, Florida, when she rushed into an intersection despite not having the right of way, and she was T-boned by the car. The car's driver survived, but her husband, 78-year-old man, was sent to the ICU, where he died 2 weeks later. Alec Baldwin discharged a prop gun that led to the death of cinematographer Helena Hutchins on the set of his movie Rust in New Mexico on October 21st, 2021. Authorities with the Santa Fe County Sheriff's Office said that they were investigating the incident and trying to determine what type of projectile was discharged exactly. No charges have been made since the incident, and Baldwin, who is both a star and producer for the film, cooperated with authorities. Baldwin even released a statement the day after the incident to let the public know how devastated he was, as well as the fact that he was fully cooperating with the police investigation and that he was in touch with the late cinematographer's family and husband. In 1993, Snoop Dogg and his bodyguard were charged with the murder of a rival gang member. Snoop was defended by attorney Johnny Cochran and was acquitted after years and years of court battles. In 1978, Sex Pistols bassist Sid Vicious fatally stabbed his girlfriend Nancy Spungen. When he was first questioned, he claimed to have found her dead on the bathroom floor of their hotel room, but he later admitted that he had stabbed her but didn't actually intend to kill her. Although he was charged with her murder, Vicious never actually stood trial as he died of a drug overdose while out on bail. In 2012, Smallville and Sons of Anarchy actor Johnny Lewis broke into the home of an 81-year-old woman called Catherine David, ransacked her home, and then killed her and her cat. He was never questioned as he actually fell or jumped from a roof and died straight after. It was later revealed that he had been born into a Scientologist family and worked for the church's drug rehab group, Narconon. Despite a history of drug abuse, though, the autopsy report showed that he actually had no drugs or alcohol in his system at the time of his death.
So he was just crazy to be crazy. Yo, that's wild stuff right there, y'all. I don't know. Yes, because run towards it, right?
I don't know what stuff is made out of, and I think I can probably convince you that you don't either.
Oh, Blitz, aren't you aware that a particle is simply a collapsed wave function? Oh, I'm sorry, I meant to say that a particle is a quantum excitation of a field. My bad, I'm sorry. No, a particle is an irreducible representation of a Poincare group. Oh, nope, sorry. Particles are actually vibrating strings. Come on, you knew that. Actually, never mind. A particle is actually a deformation of the qubit ocean. Obviously. You know what? Forget about all that theory BS. Particles are actually what we measure in detectors. By the way, this is a great article by Quantum Magazine. It's called What is a Particle? And they go around and ask a bunch of physicists what they think a particle fundamentally is, and they get all sorts of different answers, as you saw, some from theorists, some from experimentalists, but there's no consensus or agreement as to what a particle fundamentally is. There is a whole host of answers that some of them are not in agreement, some of them are two sides of the same coin, but we just don't know. It's hard to interpret what quantum field theory is saying about the fundamental nature of reality.
The government takes a psychological profile. In a profile, it shows that 82% of people will go comply with anything they say or do to them. There's only 18% that fight back. And for the people that don't fight back now, you're allowing that fight to happen to our children, our grandchildren. We are $33 trillion in debt. You have a government that took a 30% increase in pay, automatic. If this was any other company in the world, you'd be out of business. Instead, you have people like Feinstein that made $180,000 a year and left her daughter somewhere between 50 and 100 million when she passed away. Imagine that. The corruption that's running wild in our country. If you can't wake up and see this at this point, the wars they're putting us in to make money, the things they're doing, the corruption our president is involved in, and you're still voting on the left for a communist party that claims they're Democrat now. They're not Democratic Party of yesterday. If you want to vote that way, vote RFK. But they won't let them talk. They're threatening that they'll let him on shows. Dana White got threatened if he allowed him on his show to do a talk, that they would pull business from him. This is what's going on in the country, and if people don't want to fight for their children, I don't know what you're going to fight for. You have people that actually put vaccines in their children's arms, knowing that there was no past history or proof of anything.
Yeah.
There's an 8-year-old boy in Israel they used as a poster child for the vaccine. He died of a heart attack last week. For the people who aren't aware of that. But if you don't start and you keep allowing them to push us like this and take our freedoms and don't vote for Trump, you'll be living in a China, the new country of America, China. That's why China is controlling our medicine. That's why China is controlling our electric cars. That's why China, when Xi comes here, they clean up San Francisco. I don't know what you people are waiting for. How long or what else does it take for this country to wake up and see the wars they're putting us in? To see what they're doing in the streets. Soros paid for. Look at the kids that are running around, no matter what the subject is, BLM, Antifa, Palestine, whatever it is, it's the same group, mostly white kids that are being flown in from different states, some from different countries, to protest and wreck things in the street, and everybody standing by idly and not worrying about their children, their futures, their grandchildren, their futures. If you don't fight now, if we don't fight now, you're going to leave that fight for our kids. So you decide when you've got a spine and a backbone and you care enough about your children. And if you're not in politics and you're these dumb girls that are running around taking their clothes off on TikTok and everything else and too ignorant, arrogant, narcissistic to say something about politics or understand something about politics. And that goes for the guys also that are running around doing different shows and not talking about politics. Wake the fuck up.
It's a lot of stuff he said right there, and a lot of it's facts. So.
This is the Matrix. That prison they talk about, you born unto, can't see, smell, touch, or hear. That is this all around you. Look at the consumerism. This is a consumer-based economy. Why are black people so at the target and forefront of it? Is because we consume the most. You know why? Because we're spirits first. So don't tell me, oh, stop talking about spirituality, because that's the source of where we come from. Without spirituality, we won't exist. Talk that talk. Before physics was the metaphysics. Before the metaphysics was the astronomy. Before the astronomy was the astrology. All of this is in you.
Okay. That's a lot to unpack there. You should go way more in depth instead of throwing it all into that quick of a statement.
In the story of Abraham, when Abraham is perfectly happy in his father's tent, eating peeled grapes and, having his diapers changed, even though he's 80 years old, and God calls him out to adventure. Abraham encounters tyranny and starvation and war and conspiracy to steal his wife and his own proclivity to lie cowardly. And this is all that's his first sequence of adventures. And you think, well, what the hell's going on here? It's certainly not the case that God called him out to be happy. And I think the right moral to draw from that story is that God, so to speak, has called us out for something far greater than mere happiness. So much greater than happiness that happiness pales in comparison. He's called us out for the adventure of our life that's of sufficient moral integrity to justify the suffering. And that's something. And if you tell people that, if you let them know that, well, that makes them stand up and cheer, eh? Because deep in their heart, they know that's true.
It is true. It's very true.
And for those of you who don't know who Kevin Shipp is, he's a CIA whistleblower. He worked in counterintelligence, and he served in many capacities in his tenure at the CIA.
They were doing a study of the use of motion pictures in America as a means of psychological warfare. So it goes all the way back to pre-1947 when U.S. intelligence was using motion pictures to alter the thinking of Americans in the United States.
This document right here is a FOIA document. Anybody in America, anybody can request this. It's Freedom of Information Act. And in the 40s, they were telling you they controlled the radio stations. They controlled most of the mainstream media. They're telling you right here that motion pictures are used as psychological warfare. Why would they stop doing it?
Why would they stop doing it? Anyways,
this video was shot by an undercover operative.
That's another video. A lot of cool clips from all over the world. Some weird ones, some crazy ones, some goofy ones, Anyways, I hope everyone has a great rest of your day, afternoon, morning, evening, whatever it may be for you. And thanks for hanging out. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Now I know what's real and what is fake.